and YouTube subscribers. So it is Wednesday. I should have posted this up Monday. Got busy. My grandmother wound up back in the hospital, but she came to see me, which was awesome. Woohoo! But so this is year 2 of my son. Well, this is conversation on year 2 of my son's life. So I believe we left off with me leaving him and moving back home with my mother. So with the year 2, basically I did leave him. I got out of the abusive relationship, abusive marriage, because we got married in April, the first year of my son's life, a couple months after he was born. And so after the wedding, like, I'm thinking that things would be better. And of course, like I told you guys, I couldn't go back into the military for medical reasons. So he decided, that's not what he wanted. He wanted to be an at-home husband while I served, and he did nothing. He wanted to sit at home. In his words, he wanted to retire early. He was 30 years old. And at that time, I had just turned 20. And he wanted to retire at 30. Which was impossible because of the simple fact that, he needed to work, and so did I. And of course, like, things just got worse. It got worse because of the simple fact that I couldn't go back in. So with it getting worse, it was like abuse, non-stop, and I couldn't take it anymore. When my son turned 9 months old, I left him. And I went back home to my mom and dad. He called social services and said that I was on drugs, that I was drinking, just lost a braid. But so they came out to my parents' house, said that where I was living at was unfit, and that it was nasty, disgusting, and everything. So they came out to my house, and I was given a drug test, alcohol test. They inspected the house, and everything was perfect. Everything was good, and they didn't understand what was going on. And I explained to them what happened. So they left me alone, and I was free to live my life. But I decided to go back to him. Like, he made me think that he needed me, so I went back to him. And when I went back to him, I had my own car, I had my own apartment, I was holding down 2 jobs and everything. And so I went to visit, and he poured sugar in my engine as well as in my gas tank. So I was unable to leave. And we got into a fight because of the fact that, I started asking him a bunch of questions about what I was seeing around the house. And which led me to believe that he was sleeping with somebody else during the little time that we were separated. So, of course, I went on, like I said, we got into a fight. The cops were called. He kicked me and the baby out on the streets. Cops were called, and I went to a friend, and she took me back here to my hometown. And so, like, I got sick. I got really, really sick to where I needed to have surgery. And they requested that I have a hysterectomy. because of my condition. And they said that I had to discuss it with my husband, because of course it is his decision as well, because we are married. And I had to discuss it with my mother. My mom was like, that if it would save my life, yes, he needs to get it. My husband was like, well, I didn't want any kids with you anyway. So I was like, okay, whatever. Got the hysterectomy, and I wound up with staph infection. He said that he wanted to be a family again, and I was down for it. I loved him. And when I got staph infection and the doctors told them that I was going to die, that there was no way in the world that I was going to pull through, he said there was a 15% chance that I will pull through. And of course, the night that the doctors told my mother and my husband that, he said he didn't want to be a family again. And he was leaving to move to Minnesota. It hurt. And it hurt so bad. And I wanted to give up. And I wanted to die. I was ready to go. But my mom reminded me that I had a miracle child. I had a little boy who was going to be 2 years old, that I had to live for him. So 6 months I laid in the hospital fighting for my life. And when I got healthy enough to go home, I could not have my son for 6 more months in order to prevent infection. So when I saw my son again, he was 2 years and 5 months. Next video will be getting back on my feet. Thanks, guys, for listening. God bless. Continue to strive. And don't forget to subscribe.